today in York, where we are starting a brand new adventure. Today we're embarking on the Centenary Way, which starts here in York and heads over towards Filey via some pretty spectacular areas. So, since I'm in the middle of York, I don't want anyone to see me talking to a camera. Let's get going. Bit of a different start to one of our adventures, admittedly. Don't usually start off somewhere so populated. It is actually quite nice down here. I have done the Centenary Way once before, many years ago, and we started this section from York up towards Terrington. We did it, I think, in January, and the weather had been pretty atrocious, and I just remember walking down the side of this river in just really thick slippy mud. But hopefully today shouldn't be like that, because whilst we've had some rain, it's still not been too bad. It's September when I'm filming this, so probably the perfect time to be trying to do this. Still following the river at the moment. We follow it for quite a long while, and the river is called the River Foss. But the thing I was going to say is this Centenary Way is quite an interesting walk in that it borrows quite heavily from a couple of named routes that are probably a bit more popular than it. So this section that we're doing today is part of the Ebor Way, which starts in Helmsley, goes down through York, over to Boston Spa, and then finishes in Ilkley, where the Dales Way starts. And then later on in this walk, we get to Malton. Now a little bit further on from there, you join the Wolds Way, the old Yorkshire Wolds Way. Two walks that are just really quite popular, actually. And this one kind of joins them two together, whilst also making something of its own. So there you go, there's a little fact about the Centenary Way. Don't know why it's called the Centenary Way, since the word centenary means 100. I'm gonna guess it's got something to do with something turning 100. But what am I to know? I'm all foo. So yeah, well, it looks like it's maybe French or Latin. Hopefully it's not a swear word. There's a Jorvik Way. I've not heard of that one before. Might have to do a wee Google on that and all. I think I can see the ring road up ahead, so once we're through that, it's out to York proper, that's what we're saying. Crossed under the train line, so all thoughts of York are very thoroughly in the past now. All about Strensall, which is just over there. Then we go off to Sheriff Hutton and then Hovingham. I think we're going to aim for Hovingham today, which is a good chunk of the walk done. I can't even remember how long this walk is. I think it's like maybe about 80-90 miles or something, but we'll work all that out later. The roots disintegrated somewhat. I don't actually remember coming this way last time. I think maybe we took a bit of a detour. Yeah, I wish I'd seen that. That was a bit annoying. In fact, I vaguely remember that. Oh bloody hell. Oh well, we're past it now. So here it is, finally the point where we say farewell to the river. Instead of going that way and following it a little bit further, we're now heading that way. So let's get going. Going well so far. I feel like when I did this the other time, all of that section was horrendously muddy and exhausting, and then the rest of it was quite straightforward. None of that's been the case this time. It's all been really easy. So we should be good to keep going. What time are we on now? Just gone 1. Probably got about another 4 hours of walking, I suspect, to get to Hovingham. And it's been lovely and quiet. I do like a quiet walk. Apparently people aren't spending their Saturdays out hiking the Centenary Way. They're all on their bloody phones. But yeah, going well. Happy chappy, that's who I am. I'm a happy chappy. Hanging out with the crew. We're just entering the quaint little village of Sheriff Hutton, which has got some ruins, which I think we might need to bung an old drone at. Get a bit of a bird's eye on it. What do we think, yeah? Yeah. I'm quite surprised how close we're getting to it actually. I thought this was private property, but we're like, you could chuck a bloody rock at it. I mean, I wouldn't say you should do, but you could, probably. If you got a good throw. The land of Sheriff Hutton is now behind us, very literally, and we are heading over towards an equally small and quaint little village called Terrington now, which when I did this last time was our end point for day 1. Although that was more because it was getting to about 4 o'clock at that point, which in January was just too dark to keep going. And we thought, there'll be a pub in Terrington, we can stop there, have a drink and then wait for a lift. And not only did Terrington disappoint with there being no pub, but also our lift was still asleep when we got there, so we had to get another lift. So we were just sat around in the dark in Terrington for about an hour and a half, shivering like crazy, bemoaning this bloody lack of pubs in the UK. You would have thought there'd be at least a Wetherspoons, obviously. Darling, there's always a Wetherspoons. No, not in Terrington, there's not. It's still nice though, but it does have that one black mark on its book. But the other thing we're about to do as well is we're about to encounter our very first hill. This entire walk so far, all 2 million miles of it, has all been flat. We have to go up that hill over there. So I have to see how the old leg muscles handle that, because they've atrophied with all this horizontality. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to that little ruinous house over there. But, you know, it looks like a fixer-upper. Get that reference? Loudest doorbell I ever had. It's a niche one, that. It's not pulling its punches either, this hill. Whew. Yeah. This was the road that we got onto last time. As it was starting to get dark, just went, yeah, we're not making it to Hovingham, let's stop at Terrington, at whatever pub they've got. Because this road just seemed to go on forever. It's one of those annoyingly straight roads as well, so you're just always aware of how little progress you've made. I was half expecting to see a pub, just nice and open, but sadly not. And yeah, still bereft of the pub here in Terrington. I thought I'd point out, because where we're going now, over to Hovingham, we're sort of going down here, and then I don't know if you can really see that track over there in the distance. Going up there, heading over to those trees over there in the distance, and then from that point we're actually leaving the Centenary Way, because it doesn't go into Hovingham. It goes near and then kind of doubles back on itself and goes off towards Castle Howard. But it's too far to Castle Howard, and Hovingham has a pub. I've checked. So that's where we're going now, over that way. And yeah, at some point we'll bid this walk farewell, get into Hovingham, and then start day 2 with a smile on our face. The route is starting to get a little bit more interesting now, as I knew. I think basically Terrington marks like the end of what I'd class as the mildly monotonous section, because it's all really nice, but like I said, but you are just walking down the side of a river for ages, then walking through fields for ages. But at Terrington, obviously, it's just over there in the background, but you come up a hill to get into there, come down, suddenly it's just a little bit different. We've got some wooded areas coming up, and then in day 2 we've obviously got Castle Howard to look forward to. So yeah, thanks for sticking with it to this point. We're getting good now, I promise. Hovingham, 2¼ miles that way according to that there sign. Whew. Okie doke. Yeah, so it's basically just on the other side of them and their trees. You may find it crazy, but I really like the smell of pigs. It reminds me of my youth, because I grew up on a pig farm, so I'm used to that smell. I feel like like if people go past a pig farm, I was like a little 6-year-old. You smell so boo. But it doesn't smell horrible, it smells of pigs, and I like that smell, so just shut up. Don't you be talking nout about pig smell. Not to me. Look at all these pigs. They've all got their own little bungalows. That's nice, isn't it? And they've got this massive wall of hay to look at and hope it doesn't ever blow over. Only about a mile and a half to Hovingham. I'm just being at the moment. You know when you get that's what I'm at now. Talking about pigs. About pig smell. Why am I talking about pig smell? Shut up, Robert. We're nearly home. There we have it, boys and girls. You'll have to forgive the absolute Jethro that's just faffing around in the sky in his little skymobile. But this is where we're parting ways for today, because you lot need to go that way and up that hill, but I've got to go that way towards Hovingham. So let's say we'll meet back here soon, alright? Yeah, meet back here in a couple of days. We'll crack on with the Cleveland, not the Cleveland, bloody hell, I'm not doing that one at the moment. The Centenary Way. Yeah? Cool. Right, see you in a bit. See? It's like no time's passed. Definitely hasn't been 4 months. No siree. So I suppose first and foremost I want to apologise for this thing. It would seem I've cracked my GoPro lens. But you know, if I hold it up in some angles, it doesn't seem that bad. Oh god, that's annoying. Yeah, I'll just casually go and replace that, shall I? Friggin' hell. It must have happened when I fell over on Helvellyn, which sounds more dangerous than it was. It wasn't like I took a 100-metre tumble off the top of Striding Edge. I literally stepped on a slight rock, slid, and then my bag chucked me over, knackered my knees, knackered my arms. And here we are. Turns out I also knackered my GoPro. So I do sincerely apologise. I will try and do whatever I can when I'm editing this to make that less annoying. And maybe there'll be more 360 and drone footage today. And then before the next part, we'll figure this out. Our silent friend. The second thing I should probably say is, yes, it has been 4 months since we were last on this grand adventure. And it's not because I've been lazy or anything like that. Quite the opposite. So the last part of this journey from York to Hovingham, we did that in late September, I think. And since then I've been filming bits of the Cleveland Way, putting out random little videos that you'll have seen on the channel. And I've been unwell. My boy Lev started nursery in September, and he has seized the opportunity to bring home every single virus that is going. So I've been constantly well, you can probably tell right now I'm quite bunged up. I can feel it. I'm all up in there and all up in there, so I'll try not to wheeze too loudly into the camera. So we're here. We started again in Hovingham, and today we're walking to Malton, past Castle Howard and Kirkham Abbey, I think. But yeah, Castle Howard's first. We're gonna loop around the grounds of that, so it should be good. We've got to get there first. The other big change that we're trying out today is I'm trying out this slightly smaller backpack, and the reason for that is that having everything in that big black backpack that I usually wear, that big black backpack, that's a hard one to say, having everything in there is good until it's throwing your head first down the other side of the mountain because you stepped on a slippy rock. I think really that's given me a bit of a shake, because, you know, I feel like in the last couple of years I've noticed I don't rebound as quickly. Like, I think I need to learn a bit more about what my body is comfortable with, and, you know, work with it, not against it. You know, it's a learning experience, isn't it? We've got to find a way that works. And if I discover, and I'm editing this video, that this camera's got a crack on it as well, I'm going to be livid. So we just got our first sight of Castle Howard, just through there. So basically we just have to get through these trees and then we're down in the castle grounds. And then we'll see if I can fly my drone around there. It is a bit windier than I thought it was going to be today. And it's only a light little drone, so we'll have to see. You know, it's just occurred to me actually, this whole section over to past the Abbey is all sort of quite elevated. There's been the odd puddle and the odd slip a bit of mud, but then after that the final stretch to Malton is just following the river, and that is going to be potentially really tough to navigate through. If it floods, basically all the land around there is quite flat, so it'll all be really boggy or flooded. So this could be a really nice walk to an extent, and then become pretty rubbish. Time will tell though, because it might also not be that bad. But this is what I mean, like, there's been quite a bit of this, especially when we get to like the lower bits. Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed. The problem is a 360 camera just don't do a good walking shot, does it? Sometimes we're going to have to use slug cam, because I like my walking shots. I can't even tell how to get it to an angle where it doesn't just look annoying. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I'm looking at where the actual crack is on here. It's so small. Bloody glass. I don't really know why in situations like this they don't make that from like hardened plastic. Unless they do and I'm just being thick, because look at that, look at slug cam. Blooming slug cam. But you can maybe see over yonder Castle Howard. We're walking right towards it now. Yeah, now we're out in the exposed bit. There's going to be a little bit more slug cam soz while I'm chatting to you. So I'll try not to chat to you that much. But sometimes I just need to talk to you guys. We all need to communicate more. I was looking at that one over there thinking that's the mausoleum, but then look at this beast hiding behind the old ents. I think that's the proper mausoleum. That's the bloody loser's mausoleum. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get Eldrani up around that beast. As long as the wind doesn't batter it like it did when it was going around Castle Howard. Yeah, so that down the hill is definitely the mausoleum. I think the thing I saw over there is what's called the temple. Because you've got to have intriguing names when you have an area like this. Yeah, it's still quite blustery though, so what I'm going to do is I think we go over here and then sort of shuffle along to the right and sort of get behind the mausoleum, and I'll try and get the drone up then, and I think that's going to have to be it until we get to the Abbey. I don't actually know if it's possible to get to the pyramid, but there is one. It says so on the map. It's like right in this woodland, and I can't see like a route to get in there. So maybe it's a bit like the mausoleum there, but you're not allowed to go to it unless you have a drone. Oh no, I'm being thick. It's right in front of me. So, as we approach the pyramid, we're actually nearly done in the grounds of Castle Howard, and I'm a bit sad really because it's been absolutely beautiful. I know I've been here before, but there's something just really nice about wandering around the place like this, especially on a day where it's so calm like today. But yeah, we've got pyramids, we've got mausoleums, temples, massive manor houses. What more could you ask for? Tell them what, they don't need to go to Egypt to go and see the pyramids, does they, when they've got them in the bloody garden? Now as good as Yorkshire. I hadn't noticed it before, but the little footpath signs along the Centenary Way do in fact have a little symbol in them that is the Centenary Way symbol, so I've just filmed it. You can see it now. But that's really cool. It's just like a little detail that I'd never picked up on before. So now we're just walking through this delightful little wooded area, and then we're heading over towards the Abbey, which I should have checked the name of before we did this. Kirkham Abbey, that's what it's called. not Kirby, Kirkham. Kirkham Abbey. That's where we're going. So this thing is called the Four Faces, as you might be able to tell. Got 4 little cheeky faces up there. Now, this is what I saw on the map, and then I saw right next to it was the pyramid. Obviously we've just passed the pyramid, which is right over there, but when I had a look on the map, it seems to imply there's another one like somewhere down here in these woods, which is what I was getting confused with. But then this is very much private woodland, so I'm not going to start mooching around, and it's a bit too dense to put the drone up and try and have a bit of search around, because it gets easily confused when you stick it in like forest. So we saw one, and that's good enough for me. And then we've seen 4 faces. Okay, in terms of crossing, that wasn't that bad. So just about to see the river just over there. That's the one that once we've got past the Abbey, we'll sort of loop around these hills a little bit and then come back down onto the riverside. From here it maybe looks a little bit sketchy. I don't know, we'll have to, when we get a bit closer, I'll make a call, because I think I've had a look on the map and there is a way that I can go that's like nearly where that river will take us, but just on some roads. So, and like the roads in this whole area aren't like that road that we just crossed over. They're like nice little countryside hilly roads. So that might be the call we go with, only to Malton, and then once we're at Malton we kind of go back onto the hills after that. So we should be all right after that. It's just literally that one section of maybe like not exactly the nicest prospect. If I get halfway down there and then it's like absolutely horrendous terrain, I don't want to have to backtrack to get back to the road. So we'll see. We'll see. So I've reached that part of the walk where my brain has been idle for too long and now it's starting to come up with weird songs and weird sayings. So like for example, when we were crossing over the A64 road, I saw a truck driver and then I got a little song in my head that went, "Johnny Truck Driver, he is soaring through the night. Johnny Truck Driver, he will give you quite a fright." And that's been going around all over my noggin. Anyone else do that? Just come up with weird little catchy tunes. If you do, let me know. And also let me know if even my stupid little songs now get stuck in your head. Like Johnny Truck Driver, he is soaring through the night. Johnny Truck Driver, he will give you quite a fright. Oh, really cock that. He will give you quite a fright. Yeah, I'm not a singer and I've got a cold, so forgive me. It's always quite remarkable when you see something like this, which was obviously such an incredible structure when it was built, and then, you know, the ego of one man just got too big for his boots, just decided to destroy them all, and now we've just got these ruins. It's sad, isn't it? Because this meant so much to people when it was a thing. And now it's just kind of a reminder of what an egotistical man is capable of, and why we really shouldn't let egotistical men keep doing this kind of crap. It's as relevant now as it was back then. I do like though that these things exist. I wonder how much it would cost to rebuild this, like find like this kind of stone and, you know, use what we already know about what it used to look like and everything to rebuild it. I'm not saying we do it with all of them, but we should pick one as an example and just go, yep, that's what it used to look like. We've seen it ruined, now we're seeing it back to its former glory. So we've come off the roads now and we're on this nice little track which does lead us down to the river for one of, I think, 3 like river stretches. I'm going to try this one, and then if it's a pain we can sack the others off and just follow the other track instead. So we're okay for now. You can see the train track just over there. Sometimes when I've been on that train I've looked out at these very fields and it's just been absolutely swamped under. So maybe the rain isn't as bad as I feared. It's obviously still a bit deep, but better than I thought. Although they are famous last words, aren't they? I suspect we might have spoken too soon. Oh, we're getting through that. However, we're managing it. It's in the socks now. Well, this is where my story ends. I now live on this fence. I'm being like Spider-Man, guys. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, shuffling across gates when he can. Is he well? No, he's not. Pretty certain he's got brain rot. Watch out, here comes Spider-Man. Fingers crossed. That's the worst of it. Will it be the worst of it? You're looking
at there, ladies and gentlemen, is the path, or lack thereof. I cannot go through that, and I don't want to turn around and go back, because at this point we've actually gone an annoyingly far distance. So what I'm going to do is go that way and try and anus! I knew it! I should have listened to myself. Why didn't I listen to myself? Ah! Getting caught in all kinds of stupid bits. Oh god, that's not safe. This stuff sinks. Please don't sink, 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 please don't sink. There's a train. Hi train. Hi. Yo! There we go. Job's a good one. Not as disastrous as we worried it was going to be. And it's gone again. That was a nice 30 seconds reprieve. Can we see where it surfaces? Look at that. Like, if you're building this, build it over there. Why stop here when this is obviously... Oh Christ, yeah, I can see the track over there. I'm just gonna have to He-Man it round here somewhere. Ow. Just a little bit more. You know what you're looking for. Well, the 360 camera has run out of memory, available memory on its SD card. It was empty at the start of today, so gives you a bit of an idea how much I've been rambling on that. So we're going to be stuck with slug cam whilst I attempt to make it the final stretch to Maltonian. Right, there we go. You can just about see over there where the track was, and then they went, you know what would be really funny is if we don't build it from there to there, but then we will build it all the way down here. It's that kind of behaviour. Silly that. Right, how long have we got? Place your bets. No word of a lie, that has been about 40 seconds. Oh my god, and it goes right over here as well. This one's going to be a faff. And they say walking's good for you. Is it? I'm not being funny. I might actually have to traverse this to get out of here. Oh god, unless... Oh yeah. Those are the noises of a man at the end of his tether. Oh, you know when you're doing something, you're just like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. This is stupid. It is stupid. I think I might be able to get out of there. Right. Slowly turn around. Sorry if you were expecting, if you were looking forward to me stacking it into there. It's not happening today, guys. I'm a 35-year-old man. I'm supposed to be done with this kind of stupidness. Stop. Ah! Yeah, right. Here we go. Now we've just got a barbed wire fence. Ah! Friggin' hit me in the ear, that one. That hurt. Right, I'm not filming this. Because otherwise I'll be destroyed of my genitalia. I'm not going back down to the river. It's bad enough even this high up. Yeah, pretty path. Bollocks more like. Jeffrey Bogg, you were a heathen. I was not a fan of you. 1 out of 5 stars. That's Malton over there, so cue the outro I did when it was a bit quieter over there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this bumper two-day, 4-month epic. I will be back where we will continue on from Malton as we head back into the Wolds and go towards Filey, inevitably, but there is a long old distance between where we end today and where we end this adventure. So if you've enjoyed this episode, I sincerely encourage you to continue watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Makes me smile when I see a new subscriber. And share it around with your friends, you know. Like, aside from the odd little river bit, it's quite a good walk to come and do. So you never know, you might share it with someone who really wants to come out and hike. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon. And you, just keep being you, okay? Keep being a rock star. See you later.